rest of me is down. You enchant me, even when you're not around. If there are boundaries, I will try to knock them down. I'm marching on there, now I know what I have found.
My biggest takeaway, because like it was my first one, and I missed last year by like a month or two, so my biggest takeaway was while watching everybody's got this story of like struggle, and like kind of what I learned from everybody's story was that like a bunch of those people that are crushing it now are building big agencies and everything, and just kind of got out of their own way, because this business is totally you versus you. That was one of my biggest takeaways, because like I've been struggling with that since I started, right? Like you get in your head and you like all this doubt and everything. So everybody's story up there was like, everybody kind of went through the same thing, right? And I feel like hearing everybody's story, like nobody's special. None of those guys are special. None of those guys were rock star salespeople or, Instagram influencers or anything like that. They were just people that just decided to get out of their own way and worked really, really hard, and it stayed disciplined. They got rid of all their bad habits. Dave Anderson, back to him again. He was actually my favorite dude. Because he was actually talking about like some real stuff. That everybody I think could implement in whatever business they do, right? Like everyday life, like dominating the day, not snoozing. When he said, dude, like when people snooze in the morning, those are broke people. Dude, that like. That just like hitting you like so hard. I haven't snoozed since I got back. So I'm like, dude, he's so right. Like broke people hit the snooze button, right? So that's one thing that I'm really implementing in my personal life, is just dominating that first part of the day. I went and cleaned my car. I don't know if you guys remember that part, but I was like, dude, he's right. Like you can't have, a dirty car and everything. So basically, my biggest takeaway was getting out of your own way. It's you versus you, and you got to keep your mind right, and then do the work. Basically is kind of my biggest.
Yeah, no, I think you're
thing that I took away from everybody else. Everybody just works really, really hard, man. And
that's it. That's really the magic here. There's no special juice, or there's no special way of going about this business. It's just putting in the work and putting in the hours. And the only difference between somebody who's selling at a high level and someone who's getting by is the amount of effort and time and focus that they're putting in, and also being open to constructive coaching. I mean, the people who were up on stage speaking, you better believe that they were humble enough to ask for help. They kept humility to understand that they weren't as good as they think they are, and they got to keep redefining their skills and keep continuously sharpening their iron. And you're going to hear that from most of the people that I'm going to talk to today. Is just like it's all about you. It's not about the leads. It's not about the products. It's not about anything other than you and you deciding to take massive action. One thing that Austin Hatch kept reiterating is taking massive action. And if you guys haven't heard his story, it was absolutely incredible to hear him survive 2 plane crashes and, not getting stuck in a wheelchair and playing basketball at the University of Michigan. And it was all because it was a choice. He was driven to prove everybody wrong. He was driven to make his dream come true. And so whatever your dreams are, what are you going to be willing to give up to get there? Because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to get to where you want to go without giving up some things that are just not money-making activities. So I appreciate you sharing, Moises.